All right, we're going to get started. The first order of business, I haven't had a chance to tell everybody this at the first meeting because we got started so quick. Make sure your cell phone is turned off, on vibrate, or on silent mode. We're going to get started this morning with an invocation by Pastor Robert Seaborn with First Baptist Church of Fairhope, and followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by Commissioner Gruber.
I invite you to pray with me. Loving Father, we just are so grateful for this day, a day that was not promised, but you've given it to us for a reason. Father, that we would live our lives on purpose, for a purpose. And so I just ask that everything done here today is covered by you and your Spirit, directed by you in all things. I thank you for these commissioners, for the service that they provide to us, handling all this on mine and others' behalf, Lord. And it's a great act of service, and so we're grateful for them, and I ask your blessings on them and on all the people that are bringing things in here today, that you would watch over them and guide their actions and their words, and that all things are done as we want, Father, to your glory. It says it in your word that whether we eat or drink, whatever we do, Lord, everything we think, everything we speak, everything we do, but especially, Lord, in all the ways that we interact with each other, Lord, would it be in a way that glorifies your name? That is what I ask this day. And I thank you, Father, that you're the one in charge of all of these things. We ask all this in the name of Jesus, my Lord. Amen.
Amen. Amen. Thank you, sir.
Please join me for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Pastor. All right. Good morning, and welcome to the Tuesday, January 20th, regular commission meeting. We'll get started today by adoption of the January 6, 2026 regular meeting minutes.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we adopt the minutes from the January 6, 2026 regular meeting.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by Commissioner Gruber, second by Commissioner McKenzie to approve the adoption of the minutes from January 6 of 2026. Any further discussion on that item? Hearing none, all in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Item number B, we're going to pay the bills.
Mr. Chairman, I'll make a motion that we pay the bills with this report, including 599 invoices and distributing totaling $16,347,702.17.
I'll second it.
We have a motion by our Finance Chairman, Commissioner Gruber, to pay the bills, and then a second by Commissioner Underwood. Any further discussion on this item? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Next up is item BA2.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we ratify the internal payments as allowed by policy 8.1, and this report includes 97 invoices totaling $4,468,692.96.
I'll second it.
All right, we have a motion by Commissioner Gruber, second by Commissioner Underwood to approve item BA2. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed, motion carries. Next up is our consent agenda. This is something that we worked on at the 9 o'clock meeting putting together. Commissioners, before you make the motion, just note that item CA4 has been pulled from the agenda, and note any contingencies or red line items when making your motion.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion we can approve our consent agenda as discussed in the work session prior to this meeting with the removal of item CA4 and with the contingent items and pending items that were discussed.
I'll second it.
Got a motion by Commissioner Underwood, a second by Commissioner McKenzie to adopt our consent agenda as presented in the work session this morning. Any further discussions? Okay, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed? Motion carries. If y'all are following the agenda, now we move all the way over to our public presentations section. Deidre, do we have a presentation?
Retiree.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Morning.
I am once again honored to be able to present. We have one retiree this month, which is Mr. Charlie Weekly. He'll come on up here. Charlie, you come on up.
He's a me?
That's right. And I'm not sure who approved Mark to take a vacation this week, but we have Tucker here to speak on his behalf. And to present.
Thank you, Deidre. Thank you, Commission. Thank you for the opportunity to recognize Charlie Weekly on his retirement. He's been with us roughly 18 years, working on our Great All crew and boom mowing. But I'd like to bring up his immediate supervisors, Doug Aker and Jeremy Ringler, to say a few more words.
Don't believe a word, say it.
What if it's good?
We'd just like to thank him for his 18 years of hard work and dedication here at Baldwin County Highway Department, and we appreciate everything that you've done for our barn. Doug?
I've worked with Charlie since I've been here. I've been here almost 15 years, and Charlie's probably one of the hardest workers the county has. And I wish everybody would follow in his footsteps and lead by example like he does. And we're going to sorely miss him because he's a good worker and he knows what he's doing. So, Charlie, congratulations on your retirement.
Appreciate it.
Charlie, you want to say anything? You got the microphone.
One of those words.
You're going to plead a fifth, huh? All right. Charlie, we're going to get a picture with you.
Come back up, you gotta get your picture made.
I thank y'all all.
Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Appreciate it. All your hard work and stuff.
Mr. Gruber, you've been there,
You've been there
we've been there together. Thank y'all. Y'all have a good one.
Take care.
All right.
Mr. Chairman?
I was going to hang on before everybody went back to, before y'all, Charlie ain't in a hurry to get back to work, so I was going to open up the floor to the commissioners if they wanted to say anything, and I think Frank wanted to say something, and a lot of people may want to say something after this part is over with, so I'll allow those people to say something.
Yep.
Charlie, I just want to say thank you. Thank you for your service to the county and for this and the citizens of Baldwin County for what you do. So thank you very much. Enjoy retirement. Enjoy retirement.
Thank you, sir.
You're welcome.
Well, I just want to thank you guys. The Highway Department is top-notch in my opinion, and because of people like you and to have your coworkers and superiors to say good things about you, I will believe it. Thank you so much. And I traveled a lot throughout the rest of this state over the last few years, and I tell you what, Baldwin County looks good. If people think it doesn't, just go up in some of these other counties. I won't call them out by name, but we have got some great employees who help us keep, and we try to keep you guys in good equipment so that you can do your jobs. So we hope that your time here has been good. Thank you.
Charlie, it's been great working with you. Go back a few years, and you've been there all the time. And you've taught a lot of younger folks how to operate equipment. You've also, showed them what it means to really work and get a job done and get it done correctly. I know that. She keeps me straight right now. So, but yes, you have earned this one, Charlie. Thank you so very much.
Frank, did you want to say something?
I was just going to point out, we would be a bit remiss if we didn't recognize Charlie's wife, Miss
Yeah.
Mary.
Oh, yeah.
She
Yeah.
is one of the custodians at the Foley Courthouse and does a fantastic job. I've gotten to know her
Right.
over the last several months since our home space is being renovated in Robertsdale. But Miss Mary keeps me very informed of Charlie, and she's got big plans for him.
I bet you do. When can you retire, Miss Mary? When can you retire?
It's going to be a while.
So he's got big plans.
Yeah, so she's got some big projects ready for you, Charlie.
That's right.
That's called honeydews.
We appreciate the 18 years of service. Like Commissioner Underwood said, I will put our county highway department up against any in this state and probably in the country. So we've got the best employees that work for our commission, from highway all the way to the custodial department. Every single one of our employees is important to us, and it means a lot for y'all to be representing one of the top-notch counties in the state of Alabama. And I'm proud that you worked with us for 18 years, Charlie, and I hope you enjoy doing a lot more work around the house. All right, so that's why she's not retiring anytime soon.
That's right.
Well, thank y'all so much, and if y'all want to stick around for the rest of this meeting, you're more than welcome to, or y'all are free to, you're free to go if you want to. I'm sure you got stuff to be getting back to. Thank y'all again.
Thank y'all.
Thank y'all.
All right. So we always like seeing those types of things. Kind of makes our day at the commission world. I don't know where my computer man's fixing to go, but
Hey, I got something.
you've got problems.
I got something keeps popping up and I can't see my stuff.
All right, so we're up to our public hearings section. This is going to be dealing with our 4 planning and zoning cases that we have before us here today. And individuals wishing to speak during the public hearings, y'all have all should have filled out your speaker form. If you're going to be representing a group, you get 5 minutes. If you're going to be representing yourself, you get 3 minutes to speak. So it'll be case specific based on the planning and zoning cases here. There'll be an opportunity to speak either for the case or in opposition to the case when you hear my directions to do that. So we will open up, we'll start with the first case, Z25/60. This is Licking Good Fairhope LLC property rezone. I always want to put the donut beside that, but I figured that's what it is. So.
Right. All right. This is a request to rezone from B2 to B3. It's located on the east side of 181, just south of 104, in Planning District 37. It is currently B2 Neighborhood Business District, and they're requesting a B3 General Business District for commercial use. And part of this commercial use includes a drive-through, which requires the B3 zoning. Here's the subject property and adjacent properties. Here's the locator map and site map. To the north is zoned RV1, which is an RV park. There's B2 to the south and some RA and B2 to the west. The flume shows this area as a moderate development potential, and this is also in an urban mixed-use center. According to Planning District 37 local provisions, this area does allow for B3 zoning. It's in with half a mile of the intersection of 181 and 104. Staff sees no issues. The Smart Growth Scorecard strongly supports this request, and the future land use map is also consistent with this request.
Commissioners, do you have any questions for Selena? Okay. All right, thank you. We're going to open up the public hearing on case Z25/60, the Licking Good Fairhope LLC property rezoning. Is there anybody that has signed up that wish to speak for or behalf on, for or against this rezoning case? If you haven't signed up, is there anybody that wishes to speak for or against this rezoning case?
One person coming up behind her.
Yes, sir.
To speak.
For this one?
Yes.
Okay. Would you tell me your name, please?
Yes, I'm Elise Lane.
Okay.
And I'm the owner of the Fairhope Landing RV Resort that is located next to the property that is being discussed. We are all for the business. We're excited for that, but we are concerned about the addition of the drive-through. We have a high-end RV resort, and our patrons are coming in paying a premium fee to stay at our resort. Our concern is the sound from the speaker system from a drive-through coming through and disturbing our patrons that are going to be staying with us. Our biggest concern is just the loudness of the speaker. There's no barrier between our property and theirs, and so if you see on the map, our park, so as you can see, there are actually spaces where our people will park that is right behind the area where the Licking Good Donuts would be. So our concern is just the sound, and I know that they usually open really early. People want their donuts really early in the morning, and so just we have a sound issue. Like we have guidelines for our park where they're not allowed to make sounds before 8 o'clock, and for our residents that are coming in. So it's just a concern overall for our people that are staying with us for the sounds, for the...
That's not the same property though, right?
It's an adjacent, we're directly behind them, so if they do a drive-through, the cars will be coming in behind the building, assuming that the speaker would be
I just want to make sure they don't have to your knowledge, Jay, this particular parcel of land doesn't have a speaker ordinance, or because they've made their own thing up in their trailer park saying no sounds but after 8 p.m. or whatever.
Right, that's just a restricted covenant they placed on themselves, so
right.
This property is not.
Just making sure that it doesn't require on all the land. So, all right, thank you so much. Next up on this is Donald Rowe. That's who we got signed up to speak. Okay.
I'm Jim Brown, the developer.
Okay.
That's me, the engineer. But
okay.
He's going to respond to it.
Yes, sir. So do you have a response to her?
Yeah, I've talked with Jeff Lane, which owns the RV park.
Yes, sir.
I talked with him yesterday. He's got the flu, 103 temperature. He said that we would work things out. I've been talking with him for a month about this. He's asked me to build a block wall, so I've agreed to do that.
Okay.
The owners agreed to do that at his request.
Okay. So y'all are working together to rectify a possible speaker noise or something. So.
Right now, their speakers are at the window. I mean, they go to the window and order.
Yeah.
They don't.
I wouldn't figure it'd be that loud.
The other places, so shouldn't be a noisy.
Yes. Well, thank you so much for clarifying that. Okay. All right. Appreciate it.
Thank you.
Anybody else signed up or haven't signed up want to speak on this? All right. Close the public hearing, commissioners.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve case number Z25-60, Licking Good Fairhope.
I'll second that.
We got a motion by Commissioner Gruber, a second by Commissioner McKenzie to approve case Z25/60, Licking Good and Fairhope LLC property rezoning. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. 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 All right, motion passes. Thank you. Next up, we've got case Z25/61, the Penry property rezoning. Corey's going to be busy giving us this one today.
Yes, sir. Good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
This is case Z2561, the Penry property. Their request is to rezone from RA to RSF1. Here's the location of the property within the county. The property is located south of County Road 54 and east of Caney Creek Drive in the Bell Forest community. This is in Planning District 15. It's about 12 acres. The current use of the property is residential, and they would like to rezone for further residential use. We did receive a couple of emails raising concerns about this case. The primary focus was just preserving the community's rural character. Here are the adjacent property images. Here's the locator and site maps. To the north and to the east, we see RSF1 zoning with residential land use. And to the south and west, we have RA with residential land use. We also see RSF2 to the west with residential land use. The future land use map shows this property as primarily having moderate and mid-density development potential. This includes large lots and single-family detached homes with a neighborhood pattern. In terms of the requests and development trends, we do see some low and mid-density development potential, higher density residential uses to the west and north, and as we move further south, we see more rural development. So staff has determined that the requested zoning amendment would support the factors in the zoning ordinance, and it's consistent with the future land use map.
Commissioners, do y'all have any questions for Corey?
Corey, what's the plan of the owner that wants to rezone it to RSF1?
What's their plan?
Yeah, what's their plan? They want to put 2 or 3 houses?
They would like to do large lots.
Large lots?
Yes, something that's within RSF1, but less than RSF3, which is 80,000 square feet.
Okay. Thank you.
Any more questions? Okay. Open the public hearing on this case. Is there is somebody signed up to speak in opposition of this? Bobby Cheeseman? Is that person here?
Yeah, he's coming.
Hello. Hi. So I'm curious, I do have a question. On the rezoning, if I understand it correctly, it will reduce the lot size from 80,000 to 30,000 square feet under the current RSF1?
It's currently rural agriculture,
Right,
which
at
would have to be a
80,000,
minimum of 3 acres if you subdivided that, yes.
And the proposed zoning is reduced to 30,000,
A minimum of 30,000, which means it has to be greater.
Okay. I think that's probably most of the, at least the other neighbors that I've spoken to, what they're, they can share their own thoughts about it. But, I share, for reference, I share the property line on the south side of this property. So if you're looking to your right of that property, I have that's my property. And the property line comes all the way up to the side of my driveway. When the Penrys split all this up and built their houses and did everything, that's the way that they designed it out. My pins come right up to my driveway. In fact, I had to call the zoning to find out how I could build a little bit of a retaining wall to keep my driveway in, because it kind of slopes over onto the property. That's one concern, plus the higher density use, unless there's some sort of restriction that can be put in place to keep the character of the community that I'm not aware of. That's my opposition, is the fact that it's so, a lot of these properties are 2-acre properties, and what is the square footage of an acre? Is it 42 or 45,000 square feet?
43,000.
43,000. So we're talking about less than about 3/4 of an acre per lot. Is that right? Roughly.
Well, it's more than an acre.
Am I right, or is my math off?
Yeah, the RSF1 allows approximately a minimum of a 3/4 acre lot.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
Minimum,
Yeah. So I think that's the concern, that probably the developers have good intentions. I just would want to make sure that whatever's done is held to the character of the property. And speaking, not for any Penrys, but Walter Penry, who was the previous owner who's passed away, was the owner of this property prior to this, and you guys may know him from the past, and I think it'd really do a large disservice to his memory to have this higher density development done. So that's my time. Thank y'all.
Thank you. All right, so I don't see anybody else signed up. Well, maybe I need to refresh my screen.
I'm not signed up. I'm representing the.
Okay, hang on just 1 second. Just 1 second.
Mr. Chairman, I have it pulled up if you want me to.
No, I've got it pulled up. It's just, they usually pop up live online, when I'm looking at this thing. All right, so, we're gonna go through all the opposition first. We've got, next is Martin Shields.
Good morning.
Good morning.
My name is Marty Shields, and I live at 12091 Caney Creek Drive. Been there 25 years. I do have some concerns about this project. My main concern is, are they going to access it from the Caney Creek Road? I do have the curve in Highway 54 is one of the most dangerous curves in the county. And Caney Creek pulls right off the center of that curve. We've had many, many bail-offs to the south. They missed the curve. And to the west, they missed the curve. Mr. Penry, thank God he had these large pine trees that saved his house. We've had at least 2 deaths in that curve since I've been there. And Caney Creek has 42 homes that use this entrance and exit, and it's a one-way dead-end street. We have many children, folks riding bikes, walking dogs, running. My concern is the first 600 foot of Caney Creek coming off the curve is less than 20 foot wide. And there is no county right-of-way on either side. So when 2 vehicles meet, especially a school bus and a car, or a school bus and delivery van, they have to almost stop to let the other one ease by. We've had a head-on collision on that road between a UPS and a FedEx driver already. And if you're walking or pushing your baby carriage or riding a bike and 2 cars come, there's really nowhere to bail off. You bail off one way, you're on Mr. Penry's property. You bail off another way, you're either on my property or my neighbor's property. So unless the county comes up with some major improvements on this ingress and egress through Caney Creek Road and in that curve, I can't support this project. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Do you have any questions?
I don't, sir. Does y'all have any questions? Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Marty.
You're welcome.
Greg Clark. Morning.
Morning. How y'all doing this morning?
Good. How are you?
Good.
We live on the west side of Penry. We adjoin his property all the way down. We're at 12004 Caney Creek. And the biggest issue I have is water. And right now, when we get a significant rain event, it comes down our driveway and it floods my back pastures. We've got horses, performance horses. My granddaughter is a rodeo. She rodeos, and we go all over rodeoing with performance horses. There's a wetland on that property, and if you go all the way back to Bill Penry, you know that if there was not a wetland there, he would have cut all those trees down and plowed it. So when there's significant rain events, there's a goodly amount of water that stands on that property. There's a dirt pit behind us on Lazary's property. And my concern is, what are they going to do with the water? Because I've been involved in other situations where they go in and develop property, they come in and build the property up so the houses won't flood, and then they put the water somewhere else. And I've already got a significant issue with water on my property, and I'm totally against it. What I've heard is they're going to put 17 houses on this, so they're going to change the lay of the land considerably. And the other issue I have is I raise chickens, and I've got my roosters, and we have an arena, and we have floodlights on the arena, because in the summertime my granddaughter rides her horses at night in the evening when it's cooled off. And I just know how these things come. You go to a subdivision in there and the lights are on, they're going to start fussing. They're going to fuss about roosters. She's also a competitive shooter, and she shoots a .22 rifle. So I am opposed to it, and that's where I stand on this. The biggest issue I have, though, is the water issue. Thank you.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
All right, so now I'm going to get to the point for the people who have not signed up. Does anybody want to speak for or on behalf of this project, or is there any more opposition? All right, so come on up, sir.
Yeah. You done? I'll wait till opposition was over.
Yes, sir, I think we're done.
Yeah, I'm Michael Niemeyer. I'm with the Hand Arundel Law Firm. We represent the developer and applicant. I just want to answer some questions and give the commission some context.
Okay.
The current plan is for 7 lots, all greater than an acre. So I don't know where 17's coming from. And then in terms of these access issues, drainage issues, those would have to be dealt with at subdivision approval, and will be in conjunction with the county and the protocols. And that's an expectation that they're already planning toward. We're consulting with them, engineering's consulting with them. So those issues are all already on the radar to be dealt with. The property to the east, I think Mr. Cheesham's property, is already RSF1. So it'll be consistent, either the same density or lower density than the surrounding parcels, except what's to the south, which I believe is still agricultural. I don't know if there are any other items identified, but I'm happy to answer any questions to the extent I can. And the developers were trying to be here. They had conflicts, couldn't get them worked out there in different places, so they asked me to appear.
Did you say there was going to be 7 lots is what they wanted to do? An acre?
The current plan is 7 lots greater than an acre.
Greater, because it's 11 or 12 acres there.
There could be changes. We don't think they'd ever be material changes. It just depends on what happens in the subdivision approval process with respect to access, infrastructure, those kinds of things.
And all that property, it looks like, it joins the Caney Creek Drive, correct? In other words, it's going to be access to that way?
Depends.
I'm not sure, and I guess that's also the access issues will just have to be addressed and comply with whatever the county requirements are or become as it relates to that when the subdivision approval process goes forward. I mean, I can get that answer. I don't have it handy right now.
Yeah, I understand. I just didn't know if you knew that right off, since that's one of the they asked about. Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you so much. Do y'all have any more, commissioners, do y'all have any more questions?
Not during the public hearing, I don't.
Okay. The public hearing is closed. Any comments?
I guess the comment I have is that we're being asked for a use change, and a lot of things have been brought up or addressed in the subdivision regulation process, and the commission took a very bold and courageous step about a year ago to increase the subdivision regulations for the county, and it was very hard to come to a balance on that, but we have some things in place. I just wanted to verify with staff, about, so things like drainage, things like that have really been bumped up. So you might see some things that are still in place from the past before that had taken place, but we're not just looking at drainage on a site-specific anymore. And look, I'm going to count it. I am not a developer. I am not an engineer. I'm not any of these things. This is just strictly from trying to do the best job that we can based on the facts that we're given and within the law that we have to abide by. But things like drainage and all that kind of stuff is not just looked at on this site. It is now looked at in a regional capacity, whereas it wasn't considered that in the past. So hopefully, if this becomes subdivided, and if the things that they're saying, those things would be addressed, and it would be an improvement, hopefully, over if you're getting water dumped on you or not dumped on you. So that is the goal with our subdivision regulations being improved from that aspect. The one question that I do want staff to answer, and I will direct this to Jay, not trying to bypass you, just want to make sure, because he's always the one that we end up talking to. There were some issues about traffic, and I know that in different size subdivisions, traffic studies and different things like that are required. But what would be the measures for the, I guess, comfort of the audience of what the county would look at? Because this is a unique intersection, if I should say, that hopefully, maybe, correct me if I'm wrong, that if this development went in there, what would the county, or maybe Frank would be the better person to answer that since it's a highway thing as well, but both of you can bounce off of each other on this. I would request, hopefully this could be an improvement if this was addressed, because without a change to this property, there would never be an improvement to this intersection. Is that correct?
That's correct. And you're correct with our subdivision regulations. All these comments we've heard are subdivision items, drainage and traffic are addressed at the subdivision process step, not the rezoning step. But if this property goes forward to subdivision, it would definitely have to meet all of our access requirements. In this case, if there is, it does appear there is limited right-of-way on the northern stretch of Candy Creek Drive, they would have to get the minimum right-of-way widths and roadway widths to resolve the conflicting traffic that the gentleman mentioned. But in addition to that, so our traffic study requirements, traffic impact studies are triggered with lots of 50, developments of 50 lots or more. However, this would be looked at from a safety standpoint because it is a curve and an intersection in a curve, that we look at that through all developments, regardless of the size of it. So if it goes forward to subdivision, we would then work with the engineer of record on how to improve the safety of that intersection and that access, not just for this property, but for all that neighborhood behind there that's on RSF2 already. Yeah.
And also, the county adopted a county road access management plan last spring, if I'm not mistaken, which has improved the ability for people to access our county roads, and these are county roads, for the safety aspect, and we didn't have those policies in place. So this has been something that, moving forward, once these newer types of developments come into place, you will see a vast improvement on how the people are able to access our county roads. And you may see around where the state is actually redesigning some of the way that the access is from state roads and stuff because of the danger of the 90-degree and the 45-degree and I might be an accountant, but I ain't a math person, but those kind of angles. Okay, all right, that's just a discussion that I wanted to say. But what we're asked to do today is, should this property be rezoned from rural agriculture to RSF 1? That's the question, and all those other things are valid questions in a subdivision setting, and that if that goes forward in that time, then please pay attention during that time frame, which won't come before the commission, go before the planning commission.
Yeah, and I was going to just reiterate, just for the audience today, that we are not approving a development today. Right, so that's not what we're doing. That'll be a whole nother process that goes in front of our planning commission and very rigorous process to build a subdivision. So show up at that meeting if this happens and passes, and voice those same concerns there, because that's when all the details are going to be outlaid on what's going to be what and what they can do, and whether it's traffic related, water related, all that kind of stuff will be addressed in the subdivision process. So commissioners, I'm going to need a vote on this case.
Mr. Chairman, I make a motion that we approve this request.
We got a motion by Commissioner Underwood, a second by Commissioner Gruber to approve case Z25/61, the Penry property rezoning. Any further discussion on this topic? Okay. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed?
Aye.
So just do we have one nay?
Just one.
Okay. Okay, so we got 3-1, motion passes. Okay, next up is case number PRD 25/07, Two Lakes Modified Plan Residential Development Site Plan Approval.
All right, so this is a request for a modification to a PRD. It's located in Planning District 30. It's on the west side of Roscoe Road, approximately 1,000 feet north of Bradford Road. It is a 114-unit RV park, and the applicant is asking for the modification of allowing two-story casitas. They have no changes to their site plan other than to allow any owner to build 2 stories instead of 1-story casitas. Here you can see the locator map. It's currently zoned RV2. It's surrounded by RA zoning and also close to the city of Orange Beach and Gulf Shores. These are the RV site layouts with the casitas. The ones on the right hand that are highlighted in yellow is what the applicant is asking to add to the PRD approved site plan. Here's some examples of the 2-story layouts. And here's the 1 stories that they were approved for last year. This is the site plan of the current RV park. So unless any information to contrary is revealed at the public hearing, staff feels that the PRD 2507 modification to the Two Lakes PRD should be recommended for approval.
Any questions for staff? Okay. Public hearing is now open on case number PRD 25/07, Two Lakes Modified Plan Residential Site Plan Approval. We do have the engineer here to speak for this, if you want to come up.
Good morning. My name is Chris Lee with Lee Engineering Company. Thank you for your time this morning. I just want to, just repeat that literally all we're changing is to be able to build a 2-story casita instead of a 1-story. The building height has not changed at all. We just want to put another floor plate in there as part of this project. And with that, I'll just take any questions that you may have.
Do y'all have any questions? Okay. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Is there anybody else that didn't sign up for this project that wants to sign up or speak for or against it? Okay, hearing none. Public hearing is closed. Commissioners?
I have a question.
Okay.
I just want to clarify something. We received a concern from the chairman of the Planning Commission about parking, and I spoke with Jay prior to the meeting, and I wanted him to clarify if there was a concern that with the increase of an additional floor, if that was anything we needed to be concerned about. And so would you speak on that?
I can. And this was discussed when the original PRD was coming through. So the concern is that we have these dwelling structures that are in RV park, but the the restrictive covenants they have and the conditions of the PRD basically says the casitas, whether single-story or two-story, they cannot be used if the RV isn't present. They are an accessory structure to the RV. It's a very common thing with these luxury motorhome resorts that are all over the county. There's several of them around. So from a parking standpoint, it really doesn't affect parking because they can't be used by themselves. They can only be used if the RV is present. So the lots are already set up to house an RV and a pull-behind vehicle that the RV brings with them. And so the fact whether it's a single-story casita or a two-story casita doesn't really change the operations of the site.
Just didn't want to not address the concern that was asked of us.
That's correct, yeah.
All right, thank you.
All right, Commission.
I'll make a motion that we approve this request.
I'll second it.
Got a motion and a second to approve case PRD 25/07. Any further discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
All right, motion passes. Next case is PRD 25/08. Point Clear Golf Club Plan Residential Development Phase 1, the final site plan approval.
All right, this is a request for the final site plan approval for a 123-unit residential development with golf course. The subject property is located in 26. It consists of 123 units, residential with a golf course. The zoning is currently RA and RSF1. The applicant had recently came a couple months ago to receive their other plan, and they have to receive the final site plan before they can submit for subdivision and get the approval through subdivision also. Here's the locator map. You can see the property zoned RA and RSF1. The RSF1 zoning was approved the last time they were here when they asked for the PRD. As stated, this is a 123-unit development on 309 acres. It would also include a golf course. The development will feature a variety of lot sizes ranging from 4,300 to 1 acre lots. The subject property approximately includes 230 acres of open space, of which 158 acres is designated as usable. Additionally, there are 43.4 acres of wetlands that have been delineated. The site plan includes a 15 to a 30-foot buffer around the surrounding wetlands. Here's the future land use map. This is the final site plan. The final site plan is outlined in red, and you can see the roads, the lots, and some of their landscaping they have. These are the different types of lots that they have. This is the ones that are in RA zoning. These are the ones in the RSF1 zoning. This is their site data that lists the lots, the smallest, the largest, and all their open space. And they also gave to us a list of deviations from the zoning ordinance and subdivision ordinance so that we were clear of what they were deviating as part of the PRD plan. Staff has recommended approval of the PRD with the following conditions. The traffic study is still under review, and any additional feedback may need to be addressed during preliminary plat approval. Any comments from the Baldwin County Highway Department regarding transportation improvements in the right-of-way should be addressed during preliminary plat approval. No work may commence in wetlands until the Corps of Engineers wetland permit has been obtained. The 4 phases shown on the preliminary plat, 1A, 1B, 1C, and the golf course clubhouse will be required to obtain a CPR, which is a construction plan review, prior to commencing to construction. And also, all temporary drainage improvements shall be installed in uplands until additional state, federal permits are obtained. That's all I have.
Do y'all have any questions for staff? Okay. Going to open the public hearing on this case. PRD 25/08, the Point Clear Golf Club Planned Residential Development, Phase 1 Final Plat Approval. So this is open for, I don't have anybody signed up to speak. Is there anybody that wants to say anything about this community development that did not sign up? Hey, Trey.
Good morning.
Morning.
Trey Jenwright, J Consulting. Thank you for allowing us to speak this morning. As staff had mentioned, this is the second phase of the PRD approval. Basically, it's confirming the approvals that were received a few months back. One thing I was going to note in there, I think we originally had 126 lots approved, but we've reduced that down to 123. And then the deviations really are allowed, are wrapped around the private streets that we're wanting to put in there. And so brick pavers, high-end curb features and things, and so that's what we're here about. So thank you guys for your time, and I appreciate your consideration.
Okay. Yeah. Any questions? All right. Anybody else?
I have a question.
Yes, ma'am. If you don't mind, would you come up to the podium and just state your name and where you live, and then you can go proceed with the question.
Yes, Linda Wise. I live at 402 South Church, which is a fruit and nut section of Fairhope.
Okay.
And every place we go, we have to cross Section Street, and there are no stoplights. And it's already difficult to cross Section Street. When all those houses come in, are you planning on stoplights along Section Street?
I don't know the answer to that question. Can Jay, you answer that? It's going to come in
Yes,
later.
sir. That's part of, one of the conditions. We're still reviewing the traffic studies, and so we'll have to work with the engineer of record and the traffic consultant and the highway department to determine what impacts and how we're addressing the impacts from the development. So that's all kind of addressed during the subdivision process. Is why that comment was in there. Yeah.
So when the project is completed, is 1,000 houses the goal of that community?
This is.
I know this one is not. This is the first phase, but
No, the whole development is, Trey, what is the total? 310 lots, even including the unzoned portion of this development. So, and if you guys remember, the unzoned portion of this development was previously approved as a, typical, tract subdivision that had 288 lots in it by itself. So, this is very much less dense than what was previously approved on the portion.
all right, I didn't hear that part. Okay,
Yeah.
thank you.
Yes. Thank you. Anybody else? Public hearing is now closed. Commissioners?
Chairman, I'll make a motion that we, case number PRD 25-0812, Gulf Coast, plan of residential development, phase 1, final site plan approval.
I'll second it.
We got a motion and a second to approve this case, PRD 25/08. Any further discussion? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Motion carries. All right, we are complete with our public hearings. We're on to our other staff recommendations. You got any?
We already got this.
All right, just checking with you because something may have popped up between now and then.
No, we do not.
We do have an addenda item that's very exciting. I'll let Frank come up here and explain this.
All right, good morning, Commissioners.
Good morning.
Been a full day. Good morning to any members of the public that may be chiming in on their device and paying attention. So this next item here, we're very pleased to be able to share some details and announce it's an item that we've revived after approximately 15 years or so. It's been quite the discussion in the past with the Baldwin Beach Express 2 corridor, and there's been a number of conversations, discussions, ideas, proposals, and various things over the years with this corridor. And so this step we're at today is talking about the access management plan update for that corridor. That's how we'll manage things like traffic that's been brought up today, and connection points, and how development will be able to connect or not connect, and it's just a way to manage that and manage the characteristic of that corridor. So going to move along here. So the BBE2 is the portion from Interstate 10 to Interstate 65. It's a 25-mile segment. And it's a multi-lane divided highway. It will be, it's proposed to be. It connects 3 U.S. routes, including the 2 interstates. The third route will be US 31 near Bay Minette. It relieves congestion. It supports emergency evacuations, beach evacuations, the south end of the county. If we have a hurricane or some other major event, this will be a primary evacuation corridor, and it meets the Commission's infrastructure goals. So the function of the corridor is a controlled access, high-speed arterial. We're looking at, the point of this route is to keep traffic moving, and it will likely be at a design speed of around 65 miles per hour. That's pretty characteristic of this style of roadway. Continuous north-south traffic flow and limited and managed at-grade access. We'll talk about what at-grade means in a minute. So the action here today is to consider the adoption of the updated Baldwin Beach Express Access Management Plan. What I mean by updated, there is a current access management plan in place. It was put in place many years ago, and it has got some features in it that really don't work well. We're going to talk about those in a minute briefly, and I'll share why we need to update the plan from the current one that's on the books. A few of those points, it aligns with access policy, with the planned roadway design. We want to protect the nature of this roadway, provides clear and consistent standards for future access. That's one thing our current plan lacks. It tells what we need to do, but it doesn't explain how to get it done. This plan goes through the steps of any one property owner or any other growth mechanism over time, as we go forward, how the process will look if you want to connect to the roadway. It explains that a little better. Reduces conflict points. We're going to talk about those a little more in a minute. And it protects the county's long-term investment in the corridor. That's the key function. We do not want this corridor to look like Highway 59 or even the southern end of the Beach Express, where you have multiple connection points that just continue to clog it up and create sometimes safety issues. Access will be provided through grade-separated interchanges at designated locations. We'll talk about those in a minute. And right-in and right-out access to adjacent properties. Commissioner Underwood mentioned earlier in the meeting how ALDOT is doing some of their access management controls, and you're seeing a lot more right-in and right-out connections. This road will have those incorporated and limited and managed at-grade access points. We'll talk about that in a second. I'll show an example, but that is like a signal or you're having multiple conflict points, having multiple intersections tied together to where traffic can, where we're having the crashes. Okay, interchange locations. There will be a number of diamond interchanges at the primary route locations, I-10, Truck Trail 17, which one day will be a major east-west corridor, County Road 112. Significant here, the current plan does not allow any connection access to County Road 112, which is the main route. It connects Bay Minette to Cantonment, Florida. The current plan does not allow any connection on that route, and which is not good for the community, and so this will change it. US 31, Novellis has now come into play since the previous plan was adopted. That Novellis was not even a thing then. We knew the mega site would be there one day, but we didn't know what it would be. So a diamond interchange will be allowed at the Novellis connection, and then obviously Interstate 65. There will be directional median openings. I'll show a photo of what those look like in a minute, but it's very similar to the southern end of the Beach Express. And what we mean by a directional median opening is sort of a U-turn style. It's not a cross connection that just punches straight across, from one northbound lanes and the southbound lanes. The U-turn allows deceleration, acceleration, better stacking, and gets vehicles out of the travel way and reduces those T-bone style conflict points like we see all up and down our divided highways now. This plan removes those, the direct crossing, and puts into a U-turn style setup when properly designed, with a wide enough median to safely allow ingress and egress. And there will be one signalized intersection. and that's at County Road 68, which is immediately north of I-10, just north of Buc-ee's. That's very close to the current interchange that's there now, and so that one intersection does require a signal. Okay, when we're talking about grade-separated interchanges, if you direct to the screen here, we're talking about diamond-style interchanges. You have a raised intersection where one roadway will traverse over the other. Very, very popular style. But with this style, you do not have signals that are it's doing two things. You do not have conflict points, like we see with a traditional signal intersection, and it allows the free flow traffic to continue. It doesn't plug up your main corridor, and it allows vehicle movement to continue in a constant fashion. The median openness with the directional turns, this is an example here. This is actually on the southern end of the current Beach Express, or the former Beach Express. It'll be a similar style to this, maybe a little different design, but this is the general concept, as what I described earlier. Again, eliminates the crossover conflict points. That's where we see our crashes all over the state, not just in Baldwin County, but any multi-lane divided highway. The primary areas where the crashes are is where you have these little crossovers, and people just try to figure it out and jockey for position, and we have the ability to eliminate that with this roadway and make it much safer. Property access, there will be a series of right-in and right-outs. I described what those were earlier. So under this plan, they're allowed every 1,320 feet, basically every quarter of a mile. And so that allows a staggering to where you have reasonable connection points for property owners, and it's in a safe and efficient manner. Some of these will have deceleration lanes and acceleration lanes. The nature of the access will determine exactly the style that's built, but the point there is we do not want left turn movements where you're shooting across multi-lanes of traffic and trying to make a direct left turn into the opposite direction. That's what this plan will eliminate. Preserves property access. That's very important here. The current plan does not do a good job of preserving property access. Earlier this year, the Commission authorized $4 million to begin the right-of-way acquisition on the Beach Express on the southern end. And that would be from Interstate 10 up to Styx River. It's a 2-mile corridor through there. Just on that 2-mile corridor, there are multiple properties under the current plan that would not be able to connect to the Beach Express. And when that happens, it creates a denied access situation. It damages the property value. And there's between $1.5 and $2 million in cost that the Commission would have to pay just on that 2-mile corridor that we're working on now because of damaged property values. This plan would eliminate that and saves that money, and it's a much more efficient way to handle. So again, it eliminates the need for full median openings, and it sets the minimum throat length. That's just the distance from the driveway that would be tied into the road. It sets some standards of how close those turning movements can be to the travel lanes. Talked about the current plan. It reflected the corridor design and expectations at that time many years ago. That's changed now to some degree. And again, I mentioned it did not provide access to numerous existing roadways, including County Road 112. We discussed at-grade interchanges. There's a shot on the screen of what those look like. This plan will eliminate that style intersection. And we've talked about it supports the long-term and efficient traffic operations, reduces the number of conflict points at interchanges, establishes design standards, and aligns with current county subdivision regulations. Okay, any questions?
I think it's a very good move now that we're moving this forward. At the end, we're purchasing the right-of-way. We need to make sure we purchase it instead of having to go back and repurchase.
Yes.
So, or not purchasing it, or purchasing too much. This way we know what we need to do, and we'll have what we need.
Yes, sir.
Well, we discussed this in the Road and Bridge meeting last Thursday, and that's why the commission collectively asked you to bring this forth today. I think it's very important that we continue to pursue getting this corridor finished and built. This will help us in making sure that we can align with our partners, federal partners and state partners, to try to get this portion of this road done. And, you know, the previous plan you mentioned was like over 15 years ago, was not designed for, it was designed more for a toll. This is not for a toll. So the elephant in the room, let's let you guys know, we're not looking for a toll. We don't have the ability and not looking for that. We need to figure out a way to get this road built because it's needed. It's not if, it's just when that we have to have an evacuation for hurricane. And so with changing this access management plan, it will show good faith towards our federal highway partners to try to buy into this, to try to deem this a needed hurricane evacuation route. And we appreciate our highway department for having fast forward thinking and realizing that that was an obstacle in maybe getting this accomplished. Thank you.
Anything, Matt?
The only question that I have, and you answered it in the road and bridge, but I just want you to, let the citizens know too about the width of the right-of-way of the acquisition, the access points and all, because we don't want it to look like that south end where it's where people own property in the center of it and all that. So can you just explain what you think would be the average width of the whole right-of-way of that corridor?
Sure, and there's some portions of this as we move forward. Like I said, it's a 25-mile corridor, and we're doing it in phases, so some of this will be adjusted. But in general, we're looking at about a 300-foot width. Now, that could, certain specific site conditions could make that a little more narrow, could maybe a little wider. Some areas it will need to be wider to where we have safer intersections. We might invest a little more on the front end, provide some distance, some separation, so we can build a proper interchange. And so some areas might be wider than 300. However, I think it's, and kind of adding on to what Commissioner Underwood just said on getting it built and where we are and getting it going, I failed to mention some of that earlier, and I think we need to. The Commission has invested, like I said, $4 million for the south end to begin the right-of-way acquisition. That's underway between I-10 and Styx River, that southern piece. However, on the north end, between US 31 and I-65, that is actively being pursued right now. We have now, with the Novellis online and the good planning that's been put in place for not only today, but for the future, for years to come, we have a real financial shot of getting that portion of the road, not just pieces of right-of-way, but actually built. Now, this is a multi-year project, but we have active conversations with the Federal Highway Administration. I was on a call with the director for this region 2 weeks ago. He liked the plan. He liked the access management plan we're discussing now. We've been in active conversation with the Corps of Engineers. They hold the wetland permit, and there's some things we have to do. There's a lot of hoops we have to jump through, but those balls are rolling, and we're in a good spot. We're under contract with Volkert Engineering for working design needs on that north end of how that will feed into Novellis. I have a meeting tomorrow with Novellis to discuss this plan. So things are actively moving on this route, and that has not been the case for about 15 years. So thank you, commissioners, for the investment in getting this corridor moving.
Thank you for your team for putting this together and getting this to us.
Yeah, I know for the last 7.5 years since we've been on the commission, Commissioner Underwood and I this has been the focal point ever since day one of taking office. And of course, since Skip's been here, it's been a talking point. So I'm really excited to see a new layout, a new vision, something that's probably a little bit more manageable than the first layout, and that benefits everybody in Baldwin County. So good job, Frank, and we look forward to hopefully seeing this to the finish line.
I was going to say one more thing. We discussed this in the road and bridge meeting, but a lot of people may not know the full history of the Foley Beach Express, the Baldwin Beach Express, and then this would be BBE2, Baldwin Beach Express 2. The first portion, which was the Foley Beach Express, was completely built privately. That had nothing to do with the government. And then it was 3/4 of a mile north of what was then the toll bridge, was turned over to the Baldwin County Commission, but it was not built with public funds. It was built with private funds. And then, so a lot of that was donated right away in exchange for the privileges of having certain accesses and property ownership in the middle that could be, I would imagine that was probably originally designed to be a toll, like gas station, something you see like down on the turnpikes and different things like that. But it's my understanding that the right-of-way that will that will be in any of this would belong to the county commission, or if one day somebody else wants to own it, like HalDOT or somebody, that's the goal, correct?
That's correct. In this corridor, there will be no private ownership in the median, in the medians.
Okay.
That would be completely public owned. There's, again, we're trying to move people in an efficient manner, and we can't do that if we plug it up with private ownership. Commissioner Underwood is exactly right. The Beach Express, that everybody knows to the south, was built completely different, with completely different funding, private funding, and then it was turned over to partly to the Baldwin County and partly to the city of Foley. Now, there's unintended things and challenges that come with that, and a lot of that we've seen to this day, and those are areas with more plugged up intersections and things that Commissioner Underwood just described. This corridor would not have any of that. And so we have an ability to truly plan for not only what happens today or 5 years or 10 years, what we do, the decisions that we make now are going to last for the next 50 years. And that's why it's important to do it right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Frank.
All right, Commission, do we have a motion on this?
I'll make that motion that we adopt the access management plan for BBE2 as laid out.
We got a motion by Commissioner Gruber, a second by Commissioner McKenzie to approve and adopt item GA1. All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. All those opposed, there will be none, I'm sure. So, motion carries. What a great day for Baldwin County, Frank. All right. Next up, press questions. Any press questions right now? I saw Hal in the room. Okay.
No, he said no.
All right. Commissioner comments.
I'll go ahead and get started. Thank everyone for allowing us to get this meeting underway. Our staff have done a good job of putting this thing together. I think we had some very good public hearings today. People understood what we were talking about. And, we had the action come up on the library, and I think that was handled in the best way we could. And I just want to thank everyone for, all that they do for the county, and y'all have a great week.
I am so excited about the access management plan and the ability to start moving forward with the plans to figure out a way to get funding from, but I think this opens up more doors where that will draw more interest. I know with anytime we meet with our DC senators and congressmen, they are for this. I've not heard one that said they were not for this. So hopefully the state will, I don't know what parameters have to come in place I want to see it a hurricane evacuation route. And I think once that comes into place, we'll be able to get the proper funding that we need to make this happen. And so thank you guys. I think to me, that's the biggest thing that we've done today. Appreciate y'all.
I just want to say thank you to the commissioners. Thank you, staff, for putting this together. And Deidre already left, but I just want to thank her for recognizing the retirees, and want to recognize Charlie again for 18 years of service. I just want to thank him, and hopefully he enjoys his retirement. And thank you, citizens, for coming out. It's good to listen to y'all to come and speak, and regardless how you feel, it's good to express your concerns, and I really appreciate it. We need to get more citizens involved. The chairman will let you speak in just a second. If he wants. But I just wanted to say thank y'all for coming out. It means a lot to see all y'all, the citizens, show up and voice their concerns. But thank you again, commissioners.
Okay.
Chairman.
Well, before I give my, yes, sir.
Well, I apologize if I missed.
Okay, hang on just a second, sir. If you want to, I'm going to allow you to come up to this microphone. You'll have to state your name, where you're from, and all that kind of stuff, and the topic that you're speaking about.
Okay.
It's right here. I'll give you my speaking time to do that.
I'm sorry. Just take a minute. I apologize if I missed something, but there was a topic that was on the agenda that I.
What topic was that?
About the speed limit on County Road 3.
Yes, sir.
That's my question is was anything resolved about that, or I must have?
It passed.
So I didn't know what is, so my name's Steve Cowles. I'm a resident in the Hilltop subdivision. I'm here representing the.
So our engineer.
Engineer can explain it and why we changed it.
Oh, so it has been changed to 35?
Yeah.
Okay.
We approved it, that's correct.
I guess it's going to be whatever the indicator was.
It was 45 to 35. We reduced it from sections.
It was inconsistent. It was inconsistent, and I'll let Frank Lundy, he can explain it because he knows more than I know.
We're fixing to pull the map on the screen, and we'll show you exactly what we changed it to, but the portion I'll just describe it as Adam's pulling it up, from the Fairhope city limits, which is just north of Twin Beach Road from the four-way stop there. The Fairhopes is posted at 25 miles per hour. That, as you're traveling south, that immediately jumped to 45 miles per hour, which is inconsistent. And so the portion from the Fairhope city limits down to near almost Monk Road, I'm talking in generalities here, Woodacres Drive, there's a connection road there. So that portion between, basically from Twin Beach down to Woodacres Drive has been reduced from 45 miles per hour to 35 miles per hour. Basically what you had, and then south of Woodacres Drive was already at 35 miles per hour. So what the action the commission took today sets a consistent speed of from what's on the south end, and then transitions down in an acceptable way in accordance with state law as you enter into the city of Fairhope. So reducing from 45 to 35.
When does this take effect?
Today. We will.
There's going to be, I'm sure, some warning signs put up and all that kind of stuff. So.
Our crews will be notified today, and they will schedule a work order to change the speed limit signs out and post it accordingly, but that'll happen within the next day or two.
Can we put that on Facebook too, Frank?
If you'd like.
Yeah,
Yes, sir.
I would like to see that, just to let the citizens know that it's been reduced, just to kind of give us more information. So thank you.
Yes, sir. I dare to ask if there's anybody else that wants to say something. We'll go ahead and go out of turn with it. Everybody's waiting on me to say something so we can get out of here. So, yes, we didn't recognize it because they don't want to be recognized, but we have a couple of birthday boys up here since our last meeting. Where'd he go?
He had an appointment.
So he had to go. So, oh well. Birthday boy number 1 left, and boy number 2 still up here. Since our last meeting, we've had a couple birthdays up here that we weren't able to recognize, and
Can we sing?
no, we're not going to sing, but there's some cake over there for y'all for one of them if you want to enjoy some cake.
Just another day.
Yeah, just thank you to the staff for putting this together. Thanks, Frank, again, and the commission for adopting the access management plan for the BBE2. Like Commissioner Underwood said, that probably is the most important thing that we talked about today when it comes to public safety, moving traffic through Baldwin County, and definitely probably one of the best hurricane evacuation routes we'll probably have in the county. So once it
love to see that
once it gets built. So it's gonna be a while to build it all, but it will happen one of these days. We sit back and look at it and say, look at there. I may be 70 years old, but it's something that we can say that we've had a little piece of, and it'll be nice. Anyway. If there's no other matters to be discussed amongst this commission, this meeting is adjourned.